Niners and the Seahawks, part 3 here this season.
Seahawks, Niners.
49ers. How much hope do they have in this?
I don't see them beating the Seahawks.
Because I just don't think that they have enough.
And their D-line absolutely destroyed the 49ers. It was phenomenal watching what they did to Shanahan in Week 18.
So to me, I think that Seattle's defense does have a little bit of the kryptonite.
I've never seen a defense do what they did to Kyle.
I am taking the Seattle Seahawks.
I think Seattle wears them out.
I think the Seahawks are a more talented team. They're a better team. I think they're going to beat the Niners convincingly.
Just 1 week ago, no one gave the 49ers a shot going up against the defending champs in the Philadelphia Eagles, going into the game as 4.5-point underdogs, with basically everyone picking a Philadelphia blowout. Yet here we are, a 23-19 upset win, McCaffrey bulldozing for 114 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Brock Purdy engineering a late TD drive to dethrone the Birds. Now, everyone's jumping on the 49ers bandwagon.
I mean, Shanahan's a wizard.
But it appears most sports personalities learned nothing from that 49ers victory, with all the predictions going Seattle's way, where the Niners head into Seattle as a 7-point underdog versus the number 1 seed Seahawks. Today, I'm breaking down 4 new angles on why, once again, they pull off the upset. Because I promise you, Kyle Shanahan and this 49ers offense, they're going to be bringing the heat. So lots to talk about it. Back at it, talking 49ers football. Let's get into it, y'all. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Ryan Tigey, back in action. Here we are, the divisional playoff round. Round 3 for the 2 NFC West rivals. As we know, the 49ers went into Seattle week 1 and beat the Seahawks 17-13. And in week 18, Seattle stole that game at Levi Stadium in a low-scoring matchup, 13-3. Now, as we all know, Seattle, being the number 1 seed, they had a bye last week, so they're going to be rested. We know they have a stingy defense with a league low of 17.2 points per game allowed. Their wide receiver 1, JSN, he guy's been on fire all season long with 1,793 yards receiving. But the Niners, they're battle hardened. They're a resilient bunch and just faced off versus a team with probably the best skilled position players in the entire NFL in the Philadelphia Eagles and still won the game. Not to mention Kyle Shanahan, he wins in the playoffs. With that wildcard weekend W, Shanahan's playoff record is now 9-4. Hell, 9 playoff wins. That surpasses his dad, who had 8 wins, in Mike Shanahan, and even Mike Tomlin, now recently retired head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who also only has 8 wins. So Kyle Shanahan's playoff resume, yeah, this guy, he wins in the playoffs. On the opposing side, Mike McDonald, this is his first playoff appearance as a head coach. So how do the 49ers win? They got to exploit the familiarity. They got to carry on that momentum and win in the hidden edges of football. Control the trenches, force mistakes, and grind that clock. So here are the 4 advantages I see ahead of this matchup. Number 1, momentum carryover. That wild card win in Philadelphia was massive. They have to carry and bottle that up into the Seattle Seahawks game. Number 2, revived offensive line with all-pro left tackle Trent Williams back in the starting lineup. Number 3, defensive turnovers with a mistake-prone quarterback in Sam Darnold. And number 4, situational mastery and an officiating edge. So let's dive into it. Advantage number 1, the post-upset momentum.
I think momentum is a very real thing. It is a very real thing.
The Niners, I think it's safe to say, they thrive as being the underdogs. And that Eagles win, it proves it. The 49ers went into Philly to give Nick Sirianni his first home loss in the playoffs. They overcame a halftime deficit. It was a physical game with Christian McCaffrey scoring 2 touchdowns, with one of those being a late touchdown drive, showed their team's belief when basically everyone else doubted them. So yes, do the 49ers have a short week and some travel to account for? Yes. But as I said in my last video, the 49ers, they're road warriors. With that Philadelphia win, their road record for this season now, including the one playoff game, goes up to 8-2. Whereas Seattle, they're coming off a week of rest. And if you'll remember, in week 18, the last regular season game of the season, Nick Sirianni decided to rest all of his starters in order for preparation for the first playoff game. But that didn't work out so great for them. Now, I know Seattle didn't have the choice because they got the number 1 seed, but that's definitely something to keep your eye out on. And also, not to mention, quarterback for the 49ers, Brock Purdy, he's 5-2 all-time going up against the Seattle Seahawks. All the pressure is on Seattle. The 49ers, they're playing with house money. They have nothing to lose, which is a dangerous team to play in the playoffs. And so we also know this is a very resilient team. They've overcome injuries to basically all their superstars on both sides of the ball. And so even when you saw George Kittle go down with his Achilles injury, as sad as that is, the team, they didn't miss a beat. So the Seahawks may be more fresh, but they haven't faced the same fire lately. And what most people seem to forget, in their week 1 matchup when the 49ers went to Seattle, Kittle got injured that same game. He was out for the vast majority of that game. And who stepped up? His backup, tight end Jake Tonjes, who ended up scoring the game-winning touchdown. So what's the game plan? They got to channel that comeback energy that they showed in that Eagles game, which I believe they'll do. Purdy was credited for his 4th comeback drive in the postseason, which puts him at number 3 of all time, tying legendary former 49ers quarterback Joe Montana with 4th quarter comeback drives. But just like we saw in the Eagles game, the 49ers, they need to get off to a fast start. They need to stay composed in a hostile away stadium that we'll see in Seattle at Lumen Stadium and maintain that pressure on Sam Darnold to take the crowd out of the game. Advantage number 2. The 49ers need to control the line of scrimmage. That Eagles win was the blueprint for grinding Seattle's front. The 49ers, probably the biggest key to this game, the 49ers need to run the football. Because Seattle's D, what they do is they typically stay in a cover 2 shell, meaning they keep 2 deep safeties, daring opposing teams to try to run the football against them. Now, some of you may say, the 49ers, they didn't have that much success running the football against the Philadelphia Eagles, attempting 25 rushes, and although they didn't have success early, we saw bigger runs in the 4th quarter and also had it open up downfield shots, which Purdy was able to take advantage of. In week 18, Kyle completely got away from the run game with only 12 total attempts, so expect him to not move off it this time. He'll revert back to the mean and continue to run the rock. Because, I mean, we do have Christian McCaffrey, who has over 2,000 yards from scrimmage and had a circus catch for a touchdown completed by Juwan Jennings. And so we got to remember, Seattle's defense, although they're good, they rank 19th versus the run, allowing 4.4 yards per carry. And as we saw in week 18, they were pretty dominant. But again, that was without the 49ers' best offensive linemen. But we've also seen throughout the year, Seattle's defense be inconsistent, just like what we saw from the Eagles. A top defense that was inconsistent going up against the 49ers. And so, yes, the Seattle Seahawks stuffed the 49ers run game in week 18. But Trent Williams is back and will be playing. He changes the entire dynamic of the 49ers offense, especially when you consider Kyle's offensive run scheme. It's outside zone, which attacks the edges of the field. So I would expect Christian McCaffrey to have over 100 yards and wearing down that Seattle defense. If the 49ers can establish the run, they will win the game, which means we need to stay on the field, and they can do so by being great on 3rd downs, which the 49ers have been the league leader in 3rd down conversions throughout this year. Once the run game gets going, it will force the Seattle's defense to pivot out of their base coverage with having 2 deep safeties. That's how you beat this team. And when we do that, Purdy will benefit from it with the play action pass. So the game plan, pound the ground early in the 21 personnel that the 49ers also lead the league in that personnel package, control the clock, score early, and dictate the terms on offense. Advantage number 3, Saleh's defense creates chaos. You saw his creativity going up against Philly, and Jalen Hurts, he struggled with it. Sam Darnold, he's no different. As one of the best and leading deep ball throwers, Sam Darnold has only completed one deep ball pass in the past 2 matchups facing off against his 49ers defense. Hell, the play call Seattle's calling on offense, they're not even allowing Sam Darnold to take deep shots because he's only taken 4 in the past 2 matchups. The Seattle offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, brother of 49ers offensive coordinator, Clay Kubiak, he's managing Darnold because he knows, just like we all know, Sam is prone to making mistakes, especially when they trail in games and he's forced to pass the ball and oftentimes can end up in interceptions. So the tie-in from the Eagles game, the 49ers, they clamped Philly's explosive offense, limiting Jalen Hurts to under 170 passing yards. And in week 18, when the 49ers faced off against the Seahawks, they were able to keep Sam Darnold under 200 pass yards. And one thing that isn't get talked about all that much in both matchups of the 49ers and Seattle Seahawks in week 1 and week 18, in both of those games, Seattle's offense, they only scored 13 points. And so the 49ers back end, they need to keep doing what they've been doing. Darnold currently has 25 passing touchdowns and 14 interceptions, which is tied 3rd most interceptions thrown in the NFL. So the game plan for the 49ers on defense, they gotta get turnovers and hold this Seattle's offense to under 24 points. So they have to sell out to stop the run. More specifically, do not allow any explosive runs. Put the ball in Sam Darnold's hands and you make him beat you. Advantage number 4, clutch situations plus subtle edges like crew familiarity. In week 18, Seattle won the time of possession. They had the ball for 15 more minutes on offense versus the 49ers. This will not happen again. So how will the Niners stop that? They need to continue to do what they've done all season and be elite on 3rd down when they're on offense, being the league's best in 3rd down conversion rates. And they need to be great in situational football. Again, another highlight of the San Francisco 49ers, specifically in the red zone. And when you just look up the coaching matchup, Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh's ability to call and dial up plays at the right time is what I believe will propel the 49ers to victory. And there is a small bonus. The white cap for this game is John Hussey, who so far this season, he's called 2 games with the San Francisco 49ers, both games the 49ers won. He's called 0 Seattle Seahawks football games. And I know that's just a small thing, but it is a real edge in tight rivalry playoff matchups. So the game plan for the 49ers, excel in the red zone. They need touchdowns when they get in the red zone. Win field possession and steal points in what I believe will be a low-scoring NFC West war. So when you encompass all of these fresh advantages that I was able to pull together, the momentum fire, the trench control, turnover creation, being situationally clutch, I believe the 49ers will go into Seattle and come out with the dub. So my prediction, I believe Christian McCaffrey will have another game having over 100 yards with a touchdown, Purdy not giving the ball away, 0 turnovers, and the defense is going to force Sam Darnold into some mistakes. So when you take all those together, I believe the 49ers are going to win this game. So just had to jump on here, give you my 2 cents, my thoughts, my predictions about why I believe the 49ers are ripe to continue the momentum and get another upset win and ultimately to the NFC Championship. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do the 49ers have a chance to win this game? If so, love to hear your score predictions. But all right, y'all, I'll be back until my next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Hit me up. Peace.